This takes place, of course, in St. Louis, Missouri. That's my hometown for those who don't know. Now, this is about my little brother. His name was Damien. Now, my little brother, he was a peculiar guy, very different, dressed different, act different. When I say dress different, this guy would wear, a blue bi-state bus uniform and some ruby red snakeskin shoes with the socks that match. And sometimes if he had the bi-state uniform with the shorts on, he still had the red socks on that matched. And he pulled them all the way up to his knees. For real, for real. Now, this is not about the way this guy dressed. It's simply about the fact that this guy here, he was obsessed with driving buses. And this guy here was obsessed, period, with whatever he was indulging into. And he was indulging into a lot of things that we didn't know about because this guy would run away for like 2 weeks at a time. We put an APB out on the guy and he'll just show up like nothing even happened. Walk through, stroll through, grab a bite to eat, you know what I mean? Take a shower, sleep for maybe like 5-10 minutes, get up and he's gone again. And nothing my mother said could stop him from doing it. That's just who he was. As it turned out, the guy made some really important friends at the bi-state bus terminal in St. Louis. Everybody knows where that is. It used to be, I don't know, but because I haven't been there for a while, but it used to be on Delmar, okay? Out there by the Delmar Loop. Now, this was the bi-state bus place. Everybody knows about bi-state, especially those who live in St. Louis, those who have had to catch the bus a time or two. He went to this particular company this day. Usually they let him clean out the buses at the end of the day. I do not know how this man managed to get a bus uniform that fit him perfectly. He would have it creased, starched, everything else. And like I said, he'd wear with these ruby red snakeskin shoes. Now, on this particular day, I guess he decided that he wasn't going to take no more. Okay, he wanted a part of the action. He wanted in. So he decided to steal a bus. How he got out of the bus terminal with this bus, I have no idea because I know you got to go through some checks and balances before you get out that door. But somehow this cat got through. Now, I don't know, he might have had some friends up there, but whatever the deal was, they let him get away with this bus. Now, he actually drove the bus downtown, started the Lee River Rose route. I will never forget it. The guy drove the whole entire route without missing one stop. He managed to collect all of the money that they would normally collect and probably more. Everybody was fascinated with the fact of how young he was and everything else, but this guy was handling in the bus like it was a bicycle. He had to go to juvenile, okay? So he went to juvenile and they held him there, called my mother. My mother showed up to juvenile and she still couldn't get him out. Due to the type of crime this was, it was kind of a federal thing, so they had to pass off on it. There were a lot of things in play. They were looking at his IEP he had. He was someone that had a behavior disorder, so they were looking into all that. So during that time, he couldn't get out. He had to stay up there through the whole thing. The fact that he had to stay up there for a good while, they had to do an intake on him, okay? And when they did an intake on him, of course, they do blood work to determine whether or not you have any communicable diseases or anything like that. So they determined that he did have HIV positive. Now, this was a shock to everybody, including my mother, and we didn't have any idea of how this happened. But then we started to think, this guy would disappear for 2 weeks straight, not call, you wouldn't know where he was, nothing, okay? And then the guy would just come in occasionally, stroll right in like nothing even happened, and he would bring women. I'm talking about he would have at least 2 or 3 women come in during the day. And no matter what I could have said to this guy, that was how he lived his life. There was nothing stopping this guy from living his life according to the way he wanted to live. You're asking me, did he pass that to anybody else? I'm going to be honest. He may have. I don't know. Okay, but this is the risk that you run for being promiscuous. This is the risk that you run for, not taking care of yourself and not understanding that if you're going to participate in these type of risque activities, you may need to make sure that you are covered up and that you are practicing safe sex, because all it takes is one time. And I seriously doubt that he was practicing safe sex at all at any time. Okay. And plus, I don't know honestly what type of lifestyle he led, because this guy was all over the place. He had a magnetic personality. Okay. This guy had charisma. This guy could dress like Andre 3000 smashed in with, somebody from the 1930s. I don't know. But however he did it, the guy had all kinds of charisma. My mother had to explain to him exactly what HIV was. I think it went through one ear, came out the other. And at some point in his life, he finally figured out what was going on. And the guy just wasn't the same from that point. Now, there were times where he fainted when he wasn't feeling well. I had to pick him up one time, take him down the steps, put him in the car, drive him to the hospital, and did not stop at one stop sign or one stop light. Got him to the hospital, and this whole situation was due to the HIV. Okay. And at some point, I don't think he was taking any medicine that they gave him. I just think he felt like he wanted to live his life the way he wanted to live it. And at some point, one day, his stomach started to hurt really bad. I think he had, these lesions all over him. There was a lot of things going on, y'all. And this actually traumatized me. This actually made me get a complete understanding in my mind that if I was going to be out here doing the things that this guy and other people have done, then I'm going to make sure that I'm practicing safe sex, because it is important. Okay, it is important. Your life is in your hands, and there are other people's lives that are also in your hands when you and them are both being irresponsible. But I hope y'all got something out of this story. If y'all want to get more stories like this, I want y'all to subscribe, like, and follow to this channel. And also follow me at Sunchild Beats. That's SONCHILD BEATS. Yes, I am blessed by the best, and therefore I will not stress. I'ma holler at y'all next time, but for now, I salute you. Yep.